Star Wars Droids. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, R2-D2 and C-3PO appear as ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics carved into a stone pillar. During the Well of the Souls scene in these 1981 films, the hieroglyphics are visible on a column in the Well of Souls, where the Ark is located. The hieroglyphics depict C-3PO's distinctive humanoid shape and R2-D2's cylindrical form, carved into ancient stone. George Lucas and Steven Spielberg collaborated on Raiders, with Spielberg directing while Lucas created the story and served as executive producer. Lucas added this Easter egg as a playful nod to his Star Wars franchise. Producer Kathleen Kennedy confirmed in The Complete Making of Indiana Jones that it was an intentional Easter egg for fans. The droids appear again in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull from 2008, pictured on a tile in the interdimensional being's chamber. This cameo became iconic because it represented one of the earliest examples of major filmmakers playfully connecting their cinematic universes, demonstrating the close friendship between Lucas and Spielberg while starting a tradition of cross-franchise Easter eggs that would continue for decades. E.T. Senate. 3 E.T.-like aliens serve in the Galactic Senate during Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace. These creatures, officially called Asogians, appear during the Galactic Senate scene in the 1999 films. They're visible at approximately the 1 hour 29-minute mark, at the bottom left of the frame during Queen Amidala's vote of no confidence against Chancellor Valorum. George Lucas included this cameo to return the favor after Spielberg featured Star Wars references in E.T. the Extraterrestrial from 1982. In E.T., the alien encounters a child dressed as Yoda on Halloween and says, "Home, home," while recognizing the character. The novel Cloak of Deception from 2001 by James Luceno identified their leader as Senator Grebleipes, which is Spielberg spelled backwards. The Asogians come from the planet Brodo Asogi in the Perrin sector of the Outer Rim territories. This cameo became iconic because it completed a circle of references between two of cinema's most beloved science fiction properties, technically making E.T. part of the quote-unquote Star Wars universe, and showcasing how filmmaker friendships can create unexpected connections that fans continue discussing decades later. R2-D2 Trek. The Star Wars droid R2-D2 has made multiple surprise appearances in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek films. In Star Trek from 2009, R2-D2 appears flying through space debris during the destroyed Vulcan ship sequence at approximately 47 minutes 39 seconds. The droid is visible above Sulu's head on the Enterprise view screen as tiny debris. R2-D2 returns in Star Trek Into Darkness from 2013 at the 1 hour 17-minute mark, getting sucked into space when the Vengeance fires on the Enterprise. J.J. Abrams, an admitted Star Wars fan, included R2-D2 in both films as his personal Easter egg. Abrams revealed on the red carpet that R2 appears in all the movies I've directed. The director stated these cameos are really an homage to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where R2-D2 appeared hanging upside down from the alien mothership's hull in 1977. Steven Spielberg included R2 in Close Encounters as a wink to his friend George Lucas, approximately 6 months after the original Star Wars released. This cameo became iconic because it represents a multi-generational tradition of filmmaker homages, with Abrams paying tribute to Spielberg's tribute to Lucas, creating layers of cinematic references that span nearly 40 years across competing science fiction franchises. Ghostbuster. Ray Stantz from Ghostbusters makes a canon cameo appearance in the 1995 film Casper. Dan Aykroyd reprises his role as Ray Stantz in the film directed by Brad Silberling. Stantz is called the Whipstaff Manor to deal with the ghostly trio, which includes Stretch, Stinky, and Fatso, early in the film. He's seen running terrified out of the mansion and fleeing to his car after encountering the ghosts. Steven Spielberg, who served as executive producer through Amblin Entertainment, personally asked Aykroyd to appear. Aykroyd confirmed on the Talking Strange podcast in November 2025 that this cameo is canon to the Ghostbusters franchise. He stated that Spielberg asked for him and said to come and do this, and that you have to include it in the canon, no doubt. This cameo became iconic because it's one of the few times a major franchise character appears in an unrelated film, and the appearance is later confirmed as canonical, showing that even the Ghostbusters can be overwhelmed by particularly troublesome spirits while creating an unexpected, shared universe between two ghost-related franchises. Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine makes an unexpected cameo in X-Men First Class, delivering the film's biggest laugh with just one line. Wolverine appears in these 2011 films in an uncredited cameo lasting less than 30 seconds. Professor X, played by James McAvoy, and Magneto, played by Michael Fassbender, find Logan in a bar attempting to recruit him for their team. Wolverine's response is direct and dismissive, telling them to leave in no uncertain terms using the only strong language in the entire film. The script originally had different wording, but Jacquin improvised the longer version. McAvoy and Fassbender's genuine surprised reactions were kept in the final cut. Director Matthew Vaughn shot the scene when Jackman was visiting the set during the rushed production. Jackman agreed to the cameo on the condition that Fox made a donation to his kid's school, and he got to be the only character to use strong language. This cameo became iconic because it directly addresses why the franchise's most popular character isn't in the rest of the film set in the 1960s, with the filmmakers using humor to acknowledge Wolverine's absence, rather than ignoring it entirely. T-1000. The T-1000 from Terminator 2 Judgment Day pulls over Wayne Campbell in Wayne's World, still hunting for John Connor. Robert Patrick reprises his role as the T-1000 in Wayne's World from 1992, released approximately 8 months after Terminator 2 in July 1991. The T-1000 appears as a motorcycle cop who pulls Wayne over while driving. Patrick shows Wayne a photograph of young John Connor and asks if he's seen him. Mike Myers' Wayne screams in terror and speeds away. The cameo was changed at the last minute, as the original script had the T-1000 simply pulling Wayne over for speeding. Robbie Koch, son of producer Hawk Koch, suggested the John Connor reference after seeing footage on set. Patrick is credited as Bad Cop, but it's clearly meant to be the T-1000 character. Patrick also reprised the T-1000 role in Last Action Hero from 1993, walking past Arnold Schwarzenegger in a brief scene at LAPD headquarters. This cameo became iconic because it demonstrates perfect comedic timing, riding the wave of Terminator 2's massive cultural impact while the film was still fresh in audiences' minds, with the T-1000's relentless pursuit of John Connor becoming a pop culture punchline. Kane. John Hurt's character Kane from Alien experiences another chest-burster moment in Mel Brooks' Spaceballs, and he's not happy about it. John Hurt reprises his alien character Kane in Spaceballs from 1987, directed by Mel Brooks. The scene takes place at an intergalactic truck stop called Gus's Galaxy Grill. While eating with friends, Kane's chest begins convulsing, and an alien bursts out. Kane groans, "Oh no, not again," referencing his death scene from Alien in 1979, 8 years earlier. Unlike Alien, the Spaceballs alien wears a hat and cane and sings, "Hello, my baby," in the style of Michigan J. Frog. Hurt is credited as playing himself rather than Kane. This cameo became iconic because it showcases John Hurt's willingness to laugh at one of his most famous roles, with Brooks turning genuine terror into absurdist comedy. The alien's singing and dancing transforms a moment of body horror into vaudeville entertainment, perfectly embodying Mel Brooks' style of satire, while creating one of the most memorable parody moments in cinema history. By the way, if you're into this type of content, I create videos like this regularly. Subscribing would really help me out. Superman. Superman makes a surprise cameo in Shazam, but only from the neck down, creating one of the most discussed superhero cameos. Superman appears in the final scene of Shazam from 2019, entering Billy Batson's school cafeteria. Shazam, played by Zachary Levi, brings Superman as his friend to boost Freddie Freeman's popularity at lunch. Superman is only shown from the neck down, never revealing his face. The role was played by Ryan Handley, Levi's stunt double from the film. Henry Cavill was reportedly unavailable when the scene was shot, according to director David F. Sandberg. Levi revealed in a March 2023 Instagram Live that the creative team desperately tried to get Cavill and were blocked by unnamed sources. The original script had Superman sit down and talk with the kids, with Freddy saying, "I have so many questions," before cutting out. Sandberg said cutting to credits on Freddy's reaction works so much better than the original plan. This cameo became iconic despite its limitations, because it represents both creative problem-solving and fan disappointment, showing how the abrupt cut to Freddy's delighted reaction actually enhanced the moment, while sparking years of discussion about what could have been. Doc Brown. Christopher Lloyd reprises his role as Doc Brown in A Million Ways to Die in the West, appearing with his famous time machine in the Old West. In these 2014 films by Seth MacFarlane, Albert, played by MacFarlane, investigates a strange glow coming from a barn. Doc Brown is working on the DeLorean time machine, quickly covering it up when discovered. The scene confirms Doc Brown is still in the Old West from Back to the Future Part 3, released in 1990. This cameo became iconic because it unexpectedly connected Back to the Future to MacFarlane's Western comedy universe, suggesting Doc Brown continued tinkering with the DeLorean during his extended stay in the Old West, and demonstrating how a beloved character can appear decades after their last film appearance. Chubbs. Chubbs Peterson from Happy Gilmore returns in Little Nicky, now working as a dance instructor in heaven. Carl Weathers reprises his role as Chubbs in Little Nicky from 2000, 5 years after Happy Gilmore in 1996. Chubbs died in Happy Gilmore after falling out a window. In Little Nicky's version of Heaven, Chubbs works as a dance instructor. Adam Sandler's character Nicky encounters Chubbs during his journey through the afterlife. This cameo became iconic because it established that Adam Sandler's comedy films exist in a shared universe where beloved characters can return even after passing away, creating unexpected continuity across seemingly unrelated movies and delighting fans who remembered Chubbs from the earlier golf comedy. J. Jonah Jameson. J.K. Simmons' J. Jonah Jameson returns to Spider-Man films in a shocking mid-credits scene that bridges two different eras. Simmons reprises J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man Far From Home from 2019 in the mid-credits scene. Simmons previously played Jameson in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy from 2002 to 2007. This marks his first appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, 12 years after Spider-Man 3. Jameson appears on a giant screen accusing Spider-Man of the London attack and reveals Spider-Man's secret identity as Peter Parker to the world. This version of Jameson runs a website and broadcast network rather than a traditional newspaper. The cameo shocked audiences who didn't expect Simmons to return, given the MCU's fresh start. Simmons' casting was kept completely secret until the film's release. This cameo became iconic because it proved that the MCU could successfully bring back actors from pre-MCU Spider-Man films without compromising its own continuity. With Simmons' performance being so definitive that Marvel chose to keep him rather than recast while creating a bridge between different Spider-Man film eras. Jump Street. Johnny Depp makes a violent cameo appearance in the 21 Jump Street movie adaptation, reprising his role from the original TV series with shocking results. Depp appears in 21 Jump Street from 2012 as Tom Hansen, his character from the 1987 to 1991 TV series. Peter DeLuise also returns as Doug Penhall from the original show. Both appear during the climactic shootout disguised as bad guys. They reveal themselves as undercover DEA agents to Schmidt, played by Jonah Hill, and Jenko, played by Channing Tatum. Immediately after the reveal, both characters are shot and taken down in the chaos. The cameo was a surprise to audiences, as it wasn't revealed in marketing. Depp's role in the TV series was his breakthrough performance that launched his career. This cameo became iconic because it hilariously acknowledges the original series while immediately eliminating the characters, signaling that this movie adaptation would be its own thing and demonstrating the film's irreverent humor by having a massive movie star appear just to be immediately removed from the scene. Stan Lee. Comic book legend Stan Lee made cameo appearances in nearly every Marvel Cinematic Universe film, creating one of cinema's most beloved traditions. Stan Lee appeared in 22 MCU films, from Iron Man in 2008 to Avengers Endgame in 2019. Lee co-created many Marvel characters, including Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Black Panther, and the X-Men. His MCU cameos include a Hugh Hefner stand-in in Iron Man, a security guard in Captain America the First Avenger, and a FedEx delivery man in Captain America Civil War. He appeared as a Watcher informant in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 from 2017, suggesting all his cameos are the same person traveling between films. Lee filmed multiple cameos before his passing on November 12, 2018, at age 95. His final MCU appearance was in Avengers Endgame from 2019 as a 1970s car driver. Fans would try to spot when Lee would appear and what role he'd play, making his appearances a beloved tradition. These cameos became iconic because they served as moments of genuine connection between Marvel's creative foundation and its cinematic future, reminding audiences that the man who helped create these characters on paper got to see them flourish on screen, turning each brief appearance into a celebration of his legacy. If this was worth your time, consider subscribing so you never miss new content. Thanks for watching.